Shall we start by reflecting on the fact that I suppose the great tragedy for businesses in all this is this would have been a time stretching potentially for weeks that could have really have allowed some of the ones that were struggling during COVID to catch up, to replenish their coffers, to tap into some of that pent-up demand that must be out there.
Yeah, surely it's just been another Inus Horribilis, I think, over the last year. And, in December we traditionally take probably about 35% of our annual turnover to get us through the Christmas, which is great. And then into January, February, March was the quietest times. And now we turn our focus to Hogmanay after an absolutely tsunami of cancellations over Christmas. And we turn our attentions now to Hogmanay, which is probably one of the biggest events on the Scottish calendar, and I think there's no doubt about it that we will see people across the border into England, mainly from down around the southwest of Scotland here and probably around the borders, because we are, if you take Gretna for example, it's only a couple of metres across the border and you're at your first pub.
And if people are piling down to Berwick or on the other side to Carlisle, we can peddle statistics until the cows come home, but those images of people, flying the Saltire, whatever else they'll be doing in their cars on the A74. That is such a strong image, isn't it, of people deserting one regime for another.
Yeah, well, Scotland's well known for its Hogmanay, isn't it? It's their traditional in Scotland. And I just listened to Christine Jardine earlier on, and I actually agree with what she said. That it had been better for the Four Nations to have taken a better approach in this and stop kicking the political ball up and down the A1. Because hospitality has certainly been a pawn in that political game. And we wouldn't have seen the problems where we would have cross-border travel. We wouldn't have seen the problems we have with fighting for the scraps of money that we're getting and all that kind of thing. So certainly today, when the First Minister speaks, we need clarity that hopefully clinicians' agreeance that the 7-day isolation would run along with England as well. And we must get a clear statement on the 3 weeks sharp shock that we've been put into now. Where we see 1 metre social distancing and table service. We see, 1 metre social distance between the groups of 3. And whether that's actually going to be 3 weeks or not, because if you remember back in Scotland here in October last year, we had what was again a 3-week sharp shock that ended up into over 200 days, which really crippled businesses with very little support as well. And my heart goes out to especially our staff at this time as well, who are being kept unsure of where their financial construction is coming from as well.